Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Kyle Does Dev here, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the end of the year for my app SongRank. SongRank is a platform that allows users to sign in with Spotify, search for their playlists they've made or their favorite artists, and to go through a assortment of choices. Do you like this song more, or do you like this song more? And create ranked lists of their favorite tracks. This is something a friend of mine from high school recommended to me. We used to do this manually on paper with each other when new albums were released or for an entire artist discography, and I built it into its own platform. This year, SongRank has kind of exploded, at least to me. I run no ads for this platform, yet we have over 1,100 users. I think it's growing simply based off of Google search and word of mouth. So we're going to look at some stats today. But as of today, the last day of the year, the 31st of 2025, we have over 1,100 users with 625 plus rankings. Of the 2,900 different artists is a little bit inflated. If somebody ranks a playlist and each playlist, or if that playlist has 100 tracks, one for a different artist, it's going to count each of those artists. So there have been 2,925 plus unique artists ranked in some capacity. So if you haven't visited SongRank before, you log in with Spotify, you kind of confirm that you agree to let SongRank use your email, and then you can search for stuff. So if I wanted to rank a playlist, I could go ahead and grab this playlist URL on the side and click the search button. And this is going to ask Spotify for that playlist and all of the tracks within it. So this is a lo-fi playlist I have, and it brings back all of those tracks. There are some filters for removing live or instrumental versions, and then you can toggle if there are comments, if you want it shown in the Explore feed, and if you want replies enabled for your comments. Comments are actually new. This is courtesy of the Spassy comments package for Livewire. It was super easy to integrate into SongRank, and I actually did it just about a month ago. So this has been really cool to allow for some more interactivity between users. Today, I don't really want to talk too much about SongRank as a whole and how it works and all of that, but I want to look at just the stats. So for SongRank, kind of in the background, I actually have an admin dashboard that I think it'd be kind of cool to take a look at and that sort of thing. So first, if I go to my profile, you can look at your profile, you can look at your settings. It's not actually visible within the app. Only admin users can actually visit this page. So for me, I need to go manually in the URL bar and type in /admin. And here we go. We're now on the back end. This is an unreachable page by every other user, but it gives us a breakdown of some really cool stats that I wanted to share. So first, I'm tracking. I started tracking these stats back in October, November of this year. So some of them, like in new users and rankings, we've been able to tell just based off of timestamps in the database, but stats like logins and that sort of thing is relatively new. So you can see today so far there have been 17 people that uniquely logged in because of Spotify's token expirations. There are no remember tokens. Spotify tokens expire every 30 minutes. So if your session dies, it will attempt to refresh your token. Otherwise, if you come back to the app, it's just going to ask you to log back in. But because it's a socialite thing and it's connected to Spotify, it just logs you in. There's no password enter. You don't have to agree every time. So that's kind of cool. But we had 81 logins in the last week and 394 logins in the last month. We can see that over the course of this year, how many new users we were gaining and how many users were deleting their accounts. So we can see every month there's usually one or two people leaving SongRank, but in turn, every month there have been over 20 new users this year alone, which is pretty cool. Same for rankings. We can see the green are rankings that were created. Purple is rankings that people actually finished. So rankings can take a little while. Especially if you have a lot of tracks in it, it increases the amount of comparisons. Now, we try to use the most efficient algorithm possible here, so you're not sitting there doing the same choice over and over. But if you have more than like 50 tracks, it can take a while to complete a ranking. Now, at the beginning of this year, rankings didn't autosave. You had to do it in one session, and that's because of the way I designed it. But I rewrote the entire algorithm from scratch to autosave no matter at what point. No matter what choice or comparison you are on, it's going to autosave your progress, and you can come back to it in a day, a month, a year, 10 years. It doesn't matter, which I think was the biggest pain point with the app. Again, I didn't expect people to use this thing. So when I wrote it, it was really just for me and some close friends. We knew the types of rankings we would do would be no more than like 50 tracks, and we would probably do it in one session, because if you do it outside of one session, you can forget what you ranked before and that sort of thing. I might make some more. Every part of this app I want to upgrade in the future. I was really going to let this project rest and fizzle out, but more and more people are using it, so I'm just going to keep building stuff into it, right? Anyway, let's talk more about the stats. So yeah, we can see over the course of the year, we had 100 new users in July. We had 125 in October, 141 in November alone. Like, we're getting over 100 new users organically with no advertisement, just word of mouth and Google search a month, which I think is kind of crazy. I think if I turned ads on this thing or started promoting it, it would really pick up speed, and I'm not ready for that yet, which is why I haven't done it yet. But some other cool things that we started tracking are some personal user data. Now, we don't sell any user data. I'm pretty sure I would lose my Spotify integration if that were the case. But we track some really basic stuff like just geolocation and the platform the user is using. So most of our users are on Windows. A bunch are on Android devices like tablets or phones. We have a bunch on Mac OS, Chrome OS, and Linux as well. And then I added comments in November, but only 2 comments have been created so far. But also, there's no in-app notification of comments. The Explorer page needs some work to make it more inviting to want to comment and open a dialogue with other users. So, but the comments core is there, which is very cool. And one thing we can do is we can actually filter this down by continent to country, and we can see, most of our users are in the United States or the United Kingdom. We can even go further by region, and this will give you the most popular regions. So England is very big, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Texas, very big. And then we can even break it down by city. And these are just filament widgets using Chart.js. It would be cooler if these were maps, but they're just little pie graphs. And, it's just me in here. This works great. Same with platforms. There's no breakdown here, but we can just kind of get a breakdown of where most of our users are. And that can kind of inform me how well I should optimize a mobile experience. Now, SongRank is compatible on mobile devices. It's not designed for it, but you can go through an entire ranking and use the application entirely on a mobile phone, which is very cool. The only thing this isn't showing that I have to fix is it's not showing iPhone users. I want to separate out iPhone from, I think it groups it as Mac OS. I want to know who is on a Macintosh laptop, like on a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air, and who's on an iPhone. But so this is kind of cool. This is like my little dashboard. And then some other things that are kind of neat in here is I have these app settings. So I can actually change the about page text. I can change technically the version the app is in, and actually it's in 225. I can change the speed of the slideshow on the landing page. So this is just like a little table with a bunch of columns for different app settings I can configure, and it's just saved in the database. We can see all of the artists that have been in here. My favorite artist is Foster the People, and you can search, and it brings back names and when they were first ranked on the platform and that sort of thing. We can go into email templates. So this is kind of cool. So whenever there's a new update to the platform, I call it an email blast, and I can blast all my users with the newest updates. So yesterday I released a bunch of bug fixes, and yeah, there was this weird bug where the example is Kanye West. He put out an album and Spotify deleted a bunch of his tracks. People had those tracks in playlists. Now, in the API, those tracks are included, but there's a lot of missing metadata, like the artist's ID, the track's ID, and a couple of other things because it was removed from the platform. It's not playable, but it's still within the API when you query the playlist and all of the tracks within it. So now there's some code to detect that and ignore that, because before it wouldn't let you rank that playlist, which was becoming an issue. It was like 2 to 3 times a week that would happen. And there are a couple other issues I fixed. We can see all of the rankings here. These are me in the front, but just ordering it by the ID, you can see who made a ranking when, if it's ranked, if they made it public or not, when they completed it, and how many tracks are in it. And I can kind of flip to here, and we can see these people made these rankings, if they completed them, and all the tracks within them and stuff. And then I think if I click, like if I went to, and I'll use one of my own rankings here as an example, but this Foster the People list, if I go to view it, it's actually going to show the details of the ranking, the details of the playlist, if there is one, and then all of the songs and the order in which they are ranked. So if a user came to me and was like, actually, I like Broken Jaw more than Hard in the Paint, I could come in on the back end and fix it for them. I haven't built out functionality for a user to do that themselves yet. And I can also see if there are any comments here, and there aren't right now. Apart from that, I can go and check out user data. I can check out playlist data and that sort of thing as well. But this is kind of a little glimpse behind the curtain type deal, and where SongRank is at the current moment. So if you've used SongRank, thank you. I hope this was somewhat interesting to you. And I'm going to be continuously just working on this throughout the next year. I have a bunch of other projects I'm also maintaining and working on. So I try to work on SongRank usually 2 to 3 times a month. And it's typically just bug fixing and cleaning up code that I should have written in a better manner the first time, but I would rush and try to get stuff out. So hopefully this was interesting to you, and I hope you all have a great 2026. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.